Listening the other day to some advice you were giving,
Mm-hmm.
and it sounded very helpful. And I've been struggling with a problem that has been stuck in my mind that I just can't let go of.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a relation. I just get a little nervous. I don't know why, but I was in a relationship for 13 years. He was like my high school sweetheart. We spent a lot of time together. After 13 years, I was like hoping that we were going to get married, that we were going to have kids. We always talked about it. It wasn't something like that we never discussed. I mean, we talked basically about everything. Moving down to 13 years, I felt like we started kind of separating where we weren't spending as much time together. I did unfortunately try to spend time with him, and I did catch him like on a few lies, which that kind of broke my trust. I guess the question that I'm asking is that we separated. It's now been a few months that we haven't had any communication. My question is, do you think that, and this is something hard for, a stranger to just answer, but I haven't let him go. It's something that I can't let go, that I invested 13 years into someone that I thought we were going to get married. It's been about 2 months that we haven't talked at all. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking to myself if I should completely let him go and move on. And I have come across people that have tried to talk to me. I just don't feel I'm fully healed to go into a new relationship, and I'm not ready for a new relationship because I still love my ex.
Right.
So I just don't really know what to do.
And what was the main problem with the relationship? Like, why did things end?
It ended because I wanted to get married. I wanted us to grow. I wanted us to move out and live together. And we were both living with our parents. And it was just something that I felt isn't realistic. I understand that we live in a world that's very expensive and all these things that are
Right.
changing in this world that we're living in. But I just wanted, after 13 years, I didn't want to be a girlfriend anymore. I wanted that all the things that we talked about to actually come to life. And it didn't.
Right. And how old were the two of you when things ended?
It ended last year. I'm 32.
How old is he?
He's 31. He's 33.
Okay. Okay. So when you ended things with him, you told him the reason why?
Yes.
And what was his response?
His response is that he loves me, and unfortunately, he doesn't feel he can give me the things that I want at this time. He's hoping that I wait for him, but he's just not where he wants to be in life right now.
And when he says he's not where he wants to be, what does that entail?
I think it's everything that has to do maybe financially.
What does he do for a living?
He works in as a salesman
What and what
for like
industry?
a from a company that's like they go to different grocery stores and they do different like items that they focus on and they sell towards the market
How long has he been doing that?
for about 3 years.
Is he good at it?
He likes it because I think he thinks it's easy, but I tell him that it's not realistic. Like our parents, we're not gonna have them forever. We're way older. We should be already living out together and moving forward in life. So I try to give him ideas of other ways he can possibly make more money, but I don't think he wants to listen to those ideas, which I understand. Everybody has their own routes of what they want to do.
When I ask, is he good at it? I don't mean does he like it? I mean, like, is he one of the top salespeople in the company?
Mm, I I think he's good at it, but I don't think that that's like his like what he wants to do for the rest of his life.
What's his plan? Like, what is he working towards?
Well, that's why we kind of broke up because he told me he wasn't happy, but I told him like, what are you doing about it? Like, what change? I'm not happy with my life either, and I'm trying to make changes. I'm trying to go back to school. I already enrolled back into school. I'm trying to make something. I'm trying to change my situation, and he just didn't really answer me. And since then, I haven't heard anything from him.
Okay, so he doesn't have a plan.
No,
Okay. And your question is, should how long have you been broken up?
we've been broken up now for 6 months.
And your question is, should you get back with him?
I'm in love with him, and I guess my question is, do I start working on letting him go because he's not making any changes with his life?
Right. Yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, because his lack of a plan and his lack of agency is what is preventing you from getting what you want. So he's saying that he's not where he wants to be in life, which is a financial constraint, but he doesn't even have a plan as to how he would get where he wants to be in life. So he's not progressively moving towards that goal. And him obtaining that goal, which has yet to be undefined, is what is preventing y'all from solidifying the connection. Like, you can't look at potential, you have to look at trajectory. There's a difference. Potential means there is no evidence, you just see something in that person, right? You see what they possibly could be. But everybody has potential. Any homeless person you see has the potential to be a millionaire. Doesn't mean they're going to fulfill it, right? Trajectory means that they're already heading in that direction. So you can be patient with the person whose trajectory implies that they will eventually get to where they're heading because they're already taking steps in that direction. You are in a situation where you're focused on potential, not trajectory.
I agree. And I right now where I'm at is that I held on to all those things that we talked about for 13 years, and it's really hard. And I know I got to get over it. I'm not the only person in the world that we made promises and things just didn't work out. So now I'm just trying to figure out how to move forward in my life. I think I'm going to take a break from relationships just for a moment because I felt like, how did I not see in 13 years that we weren't moving forward? And I guess I always thought like it's going to happen. Like it's just, we're hitting maybe like a hard time. There's so many changes occurring that all the promises we made are going to become real. And as of now, none of that's happening. So I just feel like I can't keep holding on to a promise that there's no action behind it.
Yeah, you always need to look at evidence. Like, you always want to look for where words and behavior align. So behavior is just another way of saying evidence. There's no evidence in this situation that suggests that what he is wanting to happen will ever materialize.
Right. And now moving forward, like, what do you suggest? Because I have people trying to talk to me right now, but I'm not ready. Like, I feel like I don't want to jump into another relationship where it's like possibly full of lies. So right now, the only thing I can think of is to just focus on the goals that I never accomplished, complete them. I'm already working towards that and just taking some time to figure myself out and like the things that I like. But how do you suggest that I move forward, letting people know that I'm just not ready to date? Because I don't want to hurt them, to be quite honest with you.
Just let them know that. Same way you just told me. Just not ready to date.
I tell them that, but then they still tend to think that I'm interested because I spend time with them as a friend, and I let them know I'm not, because I do want to spend time with you. I want to get out of like the little like cage that I've been in. So my question is like, when I'm coming across new people and they want a relationship and I'm not ready and I'm letting them know I don't want a relationship, do I just not spend time with them? And is that
correct? Yeah, don't spend time with them because that's not a friend. That's somebody who wants to date you.
right?
Right. So if you are looking at someone as a friend and they're trying to actively date you, then they're definitively not a friend. They're someone who's trying to date you. So I wouldn't lead them on by spending time with them. And you're probably spending time with them because you're filling a void that was left from your boyfriend. So the best thing for you to do is to be by yourself right now. You can spend time with women friends, right? But you should take that energy and focus it towards what you're working on building, not regulating yourself through other people who want something more from you.
I understand, because I started hanging out because for the 13 years that I was in a relationship, I was focused on my relationship. So now I want to like, okay, let me open myself up to men where I haven't really had like that relationship. But now that I do, it's like I make a friend and automatically they want to take it to the next level. And I'm like, I just met you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because they're not friends. How are you meeting these people?
At the gym, or if I'm like in a social gathering.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with social gatherings, but I would first sign of anything like that, wanting to move things to the romantic realm, I would shut that down and probably stop dealing with that person.
Right. Thank you. Yes, I agree, because I just I don't want to lead anyone on when I'm not ready, and I'm not ready. So I just have to, as much as I don't want to spend time by myself, I have to spend time by myself because I want to go into a next relationship where I'm healed and I'm ready to give my all and be in a healthy place.
There you go. Well, the path forward is to kind of be by yourself right now integrate the lessons from the previous relationship, emotionally process. That means feel your emotions. So even the bad ones, feel those. And take that excess energy and focus it towards whatever it is you plan on building for your life.
A last question that I have for you, and I really appreciate your feedback and the time that you're taking to answer all of this, is that do you think that based off of someone, because I want marriage, I want to get married with someone, I don't want to waste my time and date someone. I want marriage, I want to get married with someone, I want to have kids. Do you recommend that moving forward, when I am open to then dating, do you recommend that I just don't date anyone, meet someone, and then eventually as I get to know them, wait at least like a few months, and then if I see that we have something that we relate, give them, like, I don't know how to explain it because I just don't want to waste my time again.
You avoid wasting time when you leave once you realize that you're not in alignment with the person. So this is going to be more so a compatibility question. If you're not on the same page with the other individual, if you see that it's not going in a particular direction that you want it to go in, and you've addressed it, so you're not just like observing and then leaving at the first sign of conflict or trouble, but more so you see that y'all don't have shared values and a shared vision for the future, then just remove yourself. Don't get into convincing the person, because you cannot convince somebody to become compatible with you.
No, I just think people lie sometimes and they tell you things that you know you want.
Yes,
Because
the
maybe
way
they're
out
getting
of
something
the
out of
way
it.
out of that is to just, because I tell this to people all the time. Don't listen to words, look at behavior. That's it. That's the magic. That's the secret ingredient. People get convinced by words because the words match what they want, and then they'll gaslight themselves. All behavior is where the truth is. Always, always, always look at behavior. That's where you're going to get your most accurate read from the person. When behavior and words don't align, people tend to become confused. I don't understand it, because there's no reason to be confused. The behavior is where the truth is. So when the words and the behavior don't match, the behavior is what's telling you the truth. So you should almost completely ignore words and focus exclusively on behavior.
I'm mad at myself because I think if I would have focused on that, I would have saved myself time, and um, I have anger. I have anger because I feel that I did just trust in words, and I truly believe the words, because I believe that when a man says something, they're gonna stick to it. They're a man of their word, and I really just ingrained that into my head, and I understand that as women and men, doesn't matter what sexuality or it's about what you do and not what you say.
Right. And a lot of times people aren't lying to you. That certainly happens too. Don't get me wrong. People do lie. But a lot of people don't have self-awareness. They
Right.
don't have
I'll
self-awareness.
agree.
Your ex-boyfriend doesn't seem like he's a person who has a lot of agency. So I believe that he believes himself that he does want to get to those financial markets that he wants to achieve, and he's just completely unaware that he's fucking it up because he doesn't have a plan. A lot of times people are just telling you what they would like to be true, and then they don't have the capacity to actually make it happen.
Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, those were really the questions that I had, and um, I feel like a little bit of a mess right now, and I don't like that. But I mean, it's life, and you live and you learn.
Right, that's it. You just learn the lesson. What will actually waste your time is just not learning the lessons. That's what's really the time waster. Not making mistakes, but missing the blessing from the mistake, which is the lesson that you can take with you for future situations.
Yes. When you speak to me, I have an honest question. Also, I don't want to ever come across, and I sometimes think, as you know, we're kids, we grow up into teenagers and into adults, and sometimes those things carry on from childhood into adulthood. As you're speaking to me, do I at all sound like I'm childish or anything like that?
No, but what makes you ask that question? Have anyone told you that?
No, but I just feel like I'm not trying to come. I just think that based on my age, I guess I just thought that I was going to be in a whole nother level than what I'm at right now. That I just tend to feel like am I thinking childish? Am I acting childish? Is there any sense of my end that I'm doing things wrong? But maybe I'm just overthinking.
Where is it that you thought you would be by now, other than just married?
Living not in my parents' home, like living on my own, having a husband, possibly even having children.
What do you plan on doing for a living?
I plan to get into real estate and possibly. Well, I'm in between real estate and nursing. I'm currently already taking real estate courses.
Okay. What about the nursing?
The nursing, I'm taking a skincare. I'm already taking classes for that as well, seeing if I continue on to do that and then possibly taking it into nursing.
Oh, so you made progress on the nursing front?
I'm sorry?
You've made progress on the nursing front?
On the skin area part, because it would have to, because with nursing you can go in so many different areas.
Okay.
I was mainly wanting to go more towards like the skincare area of it.
Okay.
So I was starting with the skincare courses first.
Okay, so you're in school for that.
Yes.
Okay. What's the timeline for you to graduate?
Depending on how I go, how much I invest, but if with work, about 2 years.
Okay. Yeah, sounds like a good plan. Sounds like a good plan. It's like you just gotta accept the timeline, right? So if you're going to school for nursing and that's the financial play, that's the immediate financial play, then there's 2 more years of you being in your current living situation. And then the real estate thing is going to be a long-term play because that's not, depending on how you execute on it, per my understanding. Like I have family who do real estate. That's long-term. So that's not something that you're going to immediately get financial benefit from right now. So, I mean, what do you do for work currently?
Currently, I work for a health insurance company.
Okay. What is your, how much time per day do you, like, how much free time do you have per day?
Um, well, the free time I have is for school and the gym.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, you just got to embrace that there's going to be some degree of a time delay with to solve this problem. But you're heading in a direction, so focus on where you're heading. But if you don't have any additional free time, then it's like you just got to double down and focus on what you're currently doing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then after those 2 years pass, then you're in the situation that you want to be in. So those 2 years will fly by, especially you say you're in your 30s.
Yes.
2 years will fly by.
Thank you. Hopefully. No, and either way, it's things that I want to do, and in the meantime, probably do some self healing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's it, love. You got it. It's just you
Thank
have
you.
to embrace the sucky feelings right now. You can't make them go away. Just feel them when they come up. And the more that you are willing to feel them, the faster you'll get through those sucky feelings.
Yes.
Okay?
Well, thank you. Thank you for all your help.
No problem, dear. Best luck to you.
Hope you have a good day.
You
Thank
too.
you. Likewise.
All right. Who else do we have?
I didn't think you were gonna let me join.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. What can I do for you?
Dating and relationships Q&A. Okay, no man. Okay. I have a question just regarding relationships with avoidance and basically how to spot it in the beginning, as far as like how can someone be start off so affectionate and open and all of those things, and then later on as the relationship intensifies, kind of they pull away. And I guess my question is, what are some of the signs that, like, how can you introduce me to energy that you can't maintain?
Well, I don't understand the question. Yeah, can you
Like,
rephrase?
how can you introduce me to a level of intimacy and affection that you cannot maintain through relationships? And like that's my question to an avoidant. And then my question to you is, what are some questions I can basically vet out to figure out if this person is gonna need space or take back or withhold that affection? How do you get those signs early to know that a person gonna be like that?
How much do you know about avoidant attachment?
give or take, just like the basics as far as like they avoid deep conversation, emotional intimacy, things like that.
Right. Right. So your question to an avoidant is, how can you be avoidant, essentially?
How can you introduce me to energy that you can't maintain?
I understand that, but you're basically describing an avoidant and then asking them why they're avoidant. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
but that's what an avoidant person does, unintentionally, but that's what they do.
Okay, and then while dating and vetting, what are
Right.
questions that you could ask to kind of weed out weed out that?
You can't. I'm not saying you can't, but I can. But like you can't really do it because the whole question thing, I hate when people give that advice, like what questions you should ask, because it assumes a couple of things. One, it assumes that people are going to tell you the truth, and people
Okay.
lie. So if people are going to lie, then that makes the question functionally useless. Two, it also assumes that people have a high degree of self-awareness. You can ask somebody if they're emotionally available, and they may genuinely think they are until it's time to be emotionally available, and then they discover that they are indeed not emotionally available. So questions are functionally useless when it comes to dating. There's some that you can ask. What you want to do is to observe. You observe behavior, and then depending on how equipped you are with the skill set pattern recognition, the better you will be, right? So I'll give you an example. I remember this was years ago, I dated a woman who I think she was 29 years old. And I asked her what her longest relationship was, and she said a year. And I was like, okay, we talked about work. I asked what she did for a living. She had like a regular old job. So I was like, okay, well, she hasn't only been in a 1 year long relationship because she's fixated on work. She doesn't have kids. So there's something more going on here. I was like, oh, so why the relationship end? She was like, I just felt like I was giving more to it than I was getting. I was like, well, that's kind of abnormal to be 30 essentially, and the longest relationship you've had is 1 year. And then also, she was very flirtatious and had more of a sexual vibe. So her behavior indicated that she had experience. You see how my brain is connecting all this together? So I'm like, okay, it doesn't make sense for you to have a 1 year relationship considering how you are on this date, attractive woman, attractive in behavior, but your relationship was only 1 year long. Doesn't make sense why you're only in a 1 year long relationship. Thus, my educated guess is you have a degree of emotional unavailability. You see, like, but I can do that. Most people can't do that. They don't connect the dots like that. And it's not something that I can teach. But these weren't predicated on me asking questions. This was just me connecting the full picture of this individual and then making an educated guess. Right? So, it's not going to be a question thing. You can what you want to do is observe, because avoidantly attached people only activate that avoidant side when the person becomes emotionally or psychologically significant to them. And so you won't see their avoidant side when you first meet them. They may seem amazing.
And I try to ask questions like, when you're upset or in your disagreement with your partner, do you like? I try to gauge it and ask when y'all are in arguments, do you need to take space or do you like to solve the issue right then and there? Like, I try to ask questions like that just to see how you'll at least conflict resolution skills. At least conflict resolution skills.
But even that, the only thing that the only data you're getting from that is whether that person is smart or stupid. Smart person is going to know why you're asking that question, and they're going to tell you, "Oh, I handle conflict well." A stupid person is not going to know why you're asking that question. They're going to be like, "I don't even deal with conflict," right? So you're not even learning if they're avoidant or not avoidant. You're just learning if they're intelligent enough to answer your question the right way. Does that make sense? So
it's just the observation.
Right. So you just have to observe. Like, there is no way people try to optimize around saving time. You really can't. You just have to the only way to know a person is to spend time with them.
Okay.
And you can't avoid it. Now, what you can correct on your end is how quickly you exit the situation. That doesn't mean exit the situation immediately, first sign of trouble, the first red flag you see. No, it's once you come to the conclusion, me and this person are not in alignment. To vet a person is to observe them over time to ensure that their behavior meets your standards. Once you've observed them over time being the operative word in that sentence, once you observe them over time and you get clarity that their behavior does not match your standards, you exit the situation. What people tend to do is keep talking about it and talking about it and talking about it.
Right.
And then they listen to what the person is saying and they're offering words of encouragement, reassurance. Their behavior doesn't match it. The person believes in the words and then they waste years. So just don't believe in the words and only look at the behavior. Once you address something once or twice and you don't see any effort to change, eliminate that person. That's how you save time.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, dear. Have a good one.
You too.
Cooking today. I feel very mentally sharp. Can you hear it in my word choices? I feel very mentally sharp today. It's probably because I got some sleep last night. I need to sleep more. Need to sleep more. It's because it's not the night live. The night live probably won't be as consistent as it has been. I got to be honest with you. It's just a lot going live twice a day. It's a lot. That's 4 hours a day, man. Me answering questions. It's just, want to be here for y'all, but it's like there's a big cost to doing it. Again, people, this is a dating and relationship Q&A. Ask me any kind of dating and relationship questions, any problems you may have. You can do so by hitting the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I will bring you up. I will take advantage of this because this is the same service that I offer clients. This is like a diet version of what clients get. Clients get a lot more, they get more satiated. It's like a little appetizer, essentially. So I would take advantage by hitting the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I will bring you up and solve your issue. What's up, Sarah? Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Good. What can I do for you? Gotcha. Was she at the casino? The hell was going on, man? Why do y'all have all this noise when y'all come up? Shorty at the slot machine trying to get dating advice. Got the babies at the casino smoking cigarettes. What's happening? I went to Atlantic City not too long ago. The casinos are miserable places. Like, miserable places. Like, you see people at those slot machines, like, they don't look like they're having a good time. They seem miserable. I'm good on that. She got to get it in tonight. What does it mean when a guy... Hold on. What does it mean when a guy texts you once a day? It doesn't mean anything. Look at the full picture of what's going on, not just one data point. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Good. What can I do for you?
Okay. I'm Imelda from Kenya.
Gotcha. Have fun there. All right. Again, people, only come up if you have a question on dating and relationships. All right. This is not matchmaking. It's not matchmaking. Okay.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good, good. What can I do for you?
How you break a soul tie?
How do you break a soul tie?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me pause my TV. Yeah. Like you was in something real serious and real toxic, and now you trying to get rid of it.
Okay. Why do you think it's a soul tie?
Because you can't start thinking about that person, and you just can't let it go when you know it's not a good situation. Like it's not healthy for
Right.
neither one of you.
Right. So, are you like a Christian?
No,
Okay. Well, you know that's Christian terminology, right? So,
no.
all right. So we'll take prayer off the table, considering that you're not. But I would stop calling it a soul tie then,
Well,
because
what is it?
that
Love?
you just are attached.
Okay.
So, how long were you with the person?
A whole year. It was a roller coaster of a year, right?
Uh,
It almost got deadly.
okay. Well, self-preservation should help. How did it almost get deadly?
Because he's toxic. He don't want me with nobody else, but he don't want to be with me sometimes. Then when he's like a what is it called? I don't want to use the term control freak, but it is control in a way.
How did it get deadly?
Because we tried. Well, he broke into my house and he like it just. You never watch like them Tubi movies when it get toxic. It was like toxic.
Do you have kids?
Not together.
Do you have kids?
Oh yeah, I got one.
How old is your child?
He's 9.
Okay. So you have a 9-year-old, and there was a man who you dated who broke into your house?
Yeah, but my 9-year-old lives with his father. He doesn't live with me.
Okay. Oh, well, okay. Gotcha. So, do you still talk to this person?
No, I tried my hardest. Like I blocked him on everything, and I'm trying to really let it go, but I can't let it go, and I don't know why. That's why I called it a soul tie, but I'm not a Christian though.
Okay. Do you still follow this person on social media?
He blocked me.
Okay. How long has it been since y'all ended?
December, but I moved out this state and we were still keeping in contact.
How long has it
One
been?
day,
How long has it been since you last had contact with him?
December.
You said the end of December, and then you said something happened after
Yeah.
December.
He kept coming to my house. I ran. I moved out the state to get away from him. You ever try to just get away from a person?
No. So,
Uh,
all right. So when's the last time you've seen him at all?
December. Outside of FaceTime?
The last time you've seen or talked to him in any capacity, when was that?
March.
Okay.
It's like lingering.
Yeah. How do you feel your time throughout the day?
I got a lot of idle time. I'll be completely honest.
Well,
with you.
that's your problem. It's the idle time. You got to get some business about yourself. You got to do things.
Yeah.
Do you have any friends?
Not for real.
Okay. Well, then this person's just feeling a social void in your life. It's not that you'll have a magical connection. You just have nothing else competing for your attention.
Okay.
So you have to have other things going on, other relationships, not romantic. I would heal first for you, enter romantic. Because if you were with somebody like that, you're not even close to being able to have a healthy relationship. So I would completely avoid romantic relationships. But I would make friends and have things you got going on. And this won't be a problem.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep. Thank you.
No problem, love. All right. Stage 0.5. That's crazy. Yo.
Yo, you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
What's going on, bro? I'm having a little bit of an issue with me and my girl,
Okay.
and I'm getting a bunch of advice saying I should break up with her, but I'm just kind of feeling real disconnected with her.
Okay. Talk to me.
So we kind of been together for about 4 months now. I'm avoiding, and I'm working on it, but it's getting tough. I guess I just kind of like sometimes when I'm with her, I don't want to feel like I'm criticizing her, but there's just certain things like maybe it's just a lack of compatibility. For example, I have to tell, well, when we first started dating, I had to tell her things like, you're burping, say excuse me. You farting, say excuse, stuff like that.
Okay. Okay.
So then, like, the other day, she was like coughing, and she was like coughing with her mouth wide open.
Right.
She not covering her mouth. It just seems like it's like kid stuff to me. It's
Right.
like kid stuff, right? Like this is stuff you tell a kid, right? It's like,
Right.
and then it's like stuff like one thing that actually started to bother me though is like I would sneeze a bunch. I just found out I'm allergic to like I have seasonal allergies.
Okay.
I went to the doctor, got tested, and whenever I would sneeze, she would never say "bless you." Right? It didn't bother me until like I would start sneezing a bunch, and like I would notice it.
Okay.
So it's like stuff like that, and then on top of that, it's kind of like a dad bedroom situation too.
Ooh. How long have been together?
4 months. We kind of messed with each other before, but then we kind of got back cool.
How'd y'all meet?
We worked together.
Okay. When did these issues start on your end?
Say that again.
When did these issues start on your end?
I would say the issues kind of became glaring like probably a month or two ago. But another part of it is I just don't want to feel like I'm too much in my head because I'm going to be relocating probably like within the next month. And we're just kind of like not on the same timeline as far as life and such.
What do you mean?
So I've started my career and I'm moving with my job. And we're going to be like, I'm going to be in Texas. She's going to be in Ohio. And she's like just starting school.
How old are you two?
I'm 26. She's 23.
Okay. What do you like about her?
I just thought I think she's pretty cute. We just got along very well. I kind of pour into her and she pours into me. It's just kind of something I really hadn't had before. I can admit I was trying to go a little bit outside the box from my usual. I wouldn't say I have a type, right? But I think kind of dealing with her, I think that kind of tells me like I need to probably be a little bit stricter.
What do you mean?
Per se. Well, as far as stricter, maybe as in like some of the things. So actually, another thing that was bothering me is just it's like some cultural differences. So I was mentioning how I didn't want to criticize her, but maybe those are cultural differences. I'm trying this dating outside of my race. It's a white girl. And it's not something I've really done as an adult. And I think that might be what's going on.
Okay.
Because like the things like the manners and such, like that may be like a cultural thing. Like, cause I was raised in a black household, right? All that kind of stuff is just kind of like natural and second nature to me. Right. And then there's things like, it was kind of okay. So I had asked around, for example, like Juneteenth came around, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd asked a couple dudes who I know who are dating white girls, like just like getting a gauge for like, did your girl even mention it? Like, cause I done had like a random white lady at a restaurant. She was like, "Oh, happy Juneteenth," and bought me a beer. Right now, I got my girlfriend who didn't even acknowledge it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's one thing. And then the other day, it kind of had me stunned because she was talking about an influencer, and she had two kids named Camp and Key,
Mm-hmm.
and she comes from a large family. She has a brother who has 4 kids, and their names all begin with J. And she was like suggesting that this lady name her other kid with a K, right? To me, instantly, I'm like, the initials are KKK. Like, why would she even suggest that? But like, and I asked her again, and it didn't even register to her.
Okay. All right. So when you said
So
it's
I'm
a dead,
just thinking like maybe it's a compatibility thing.
when you say it's a dead bedroom situation, what do you mean?
Like, we don't have sex.
What's the cadence per week?
Like, we haven't had sex in 2 months.
So you tried?
Yeah, well, she's tried.
Oh, you don't want to?
It's not that I don't want to, it's just like, I'm not getting up. She ain't getting me up.
Has it ever happened before?
I mean, like maybe once or twice, but like not consistently with somebody who I was messing with.
Gotcha. Yeah, you just need to leave the situation.
Say that again?
You just need to leave the situation.
Okay.
Yeah, you just gotta get up out of there. Have you been in a relationship before?
Yeah, I've been in a relationship before.
What's your longest relationship?
Probably like 8 months.
Okay, why did that one end?
I was just kind of young, and we were both kind of just young and dumb.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, you're definitely being avoidant here too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Because you're fault finding. Like the KKK was kind of ridiculous. So
Yeah, I thought so.
that's fault finding. So you're trying to unconsciously create distance by finding issues with the woman, right? So I want to address that too, because yeah, you should leave this connection, but you'll do the same thing in the next one.
That's what I'm trying not to.
So hard problem to solve for sure. What I tend to tell people who have a degree of avoidant attachment is to make a non-negotiable list. So like a short list of things that would make you leave a relationship. And then if your complaints about the person is not on that list, you got to stay with them a bit longer.
Okay.
You got to lean into the connection. Because if you have issues that aren't on that list, then that means you're actively fault finding, and that should be a signal to you that like, oh, I'm being avoidant. This is the avoidant shit. This isn't really, And then you just force yourself to lean into the connection, and that can kind of trigger those positive feelings again. But you cross that bridge when we get to it. This one you should leave though. Okay.
Cool. That's all I need to hear.
All right, brother. Keep me posted how it
Appreciate
goes.
you.
All right.
All right, for sure.
All right. Interesting situation. Very interesting situation. You say his body is rejecting her. You'll be surprised how that avoidant attachment can affect people. A lot of avoidant people, they'll stop fucking you once they care about you, because it now takes a different form. Now it's intimacy. Before it was just a physical act. Once they start caring about you, now sex is intimacy. It's a way to get closer, so they avoid it for that reason. The burping and farting was given Homer Simpson, right? That would annoy me too, though, to be honest with you. That would annoy me. I don't know if I would end the connection because of that, but it depends on how frequently it happens. What's up, Umi? Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
Oh, I'm well, thank you. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
So, question. I have a friend of mine. We've been friends for a long time, about 30 years, and he's been supportive of me through my separation from my husband, and that's, that takes some time, a number of years since that was happening. And during that time, we decided to date. I had some reservations, but because we've been friends for such a long time and had a very solid connection, we went along with it, and it was fine. But then I discovered text messages in his phone that involved someone of the same sex that was of a sexual nature. And he states that it's not what I think it is, that, I don't know, that it wasn't what I thought it was. And I don't know, what's your opinion on that? Does it automatically mean they're gay?
How long have y'all been dating?
A year.
How long have you been divorced?
2 years.
And how long was the marriage?
10 years.
Okay.
Or 11, actually.
Okay. And what was the message that you saw?
Pictures. Nude.
That were recent?
Yep.
And he said it's not what you think. Did he elaborate further?
No.
Did you try to get him to elaborate further?
Yes, but he wasn't willing to.
Okay. I mean, it's an open and shut case, Johnson. This is, I mean, obviously, it's not someone you can trust.
Okay. Thank you.
You should be alone for some time. This is only something that you're even thinking about because you were married for so long and then you immediately got with a friend, right? To fill a void. And now you may be unwilling to not deal with the friend because that's who's currently filling the void and you don't have a backup option. So, true solution is to end this and then be alone for a season.
Okay. For what period of time would you say?
Even asking that question is the wrong question, right? So you want to be alone until you can be happy alone, and then that's the sign, that's the signal that you're ready to be with somebody for real.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
No problem, love. Take care.
You too.
I would love to see him elaborate. It's not what you think. Okay, what is it? I'm tired of this shit. I'm leaving. Like, what do you mean it's not what you think? Found nudes in the phone? And it's not what you think? Ay, ay, ay. Lie and say it's AI. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Anyway. She said it was from a man? I didn't catch that part. Did you say the news from a man? I just heard nudes. Oh, I would have went way I would have went way deeper. That call would not have been that short. I completely missed that. Why didn't y'all say something? I completely missed that part. That was a very important detail. So she Janet Jackson. That's unfortunate. And the unwillingness to explain is just the admission of guilt. You gotta come with an excuse with that situation. Very juicy? I don't think it was juicy. Oh, you mean the story? You have to come up with an excuse for that. I don't know what you gotta come up with something. You can't just leave it as not what you think. You have to come up with some sort of explanation for some shit like that. Baby, it was a prank. You know how John can get? Shit. That's over with. Whoa. I don't understand, bro. I don't understand. Yikes. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. What can I do for you?
Well, I just found your live, and I like the advice that you've been giving so far. I guess I am having trouble with direction as far as dating. So I am 32. I keep meeting a lot of men who have like Peter Pan syndrome. Right? Typically, they're older than me. Maybe 36 is about the average. And they are aimless. And I guess when I do meet men who are around my age, who do have direction, they don't have the youthfulness, the energy that I enjoy. So I enjoy the...
What do you mean youthfulness and energy?
Like the optimism, the dreamer attitude that a lot of the Peter Pans tend to have. When I meet...
So what's so the guys your age, like, are they not already built?
Not the ones I typically end up dating.
Okay.
When I date the ones who are built, they tend to bore me quite a bit.
And they bore you for what reason? Because they don't have the optimism?
Yeah.
So give me a specific example of somebody not having the optimism that you're describing.
I dated one person who worked at my company, and he was very satisfied just kind of going to work, coming home, playing video games for the rest of his life. Truly, I tried to see if he wanted to go to Mexico on a trip, and he was like, but they have gangs there, and just no adventure whatsoever.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. How are you finding these men? Like, where are these men? How are you meeting them?
Right now, dating apps, but also just in the world. I met one partner who was a Peter Pan. He and I both lived in the same apartment complex. The one who didn't want to go to Mexico, we worked together. Another one who had Peter Pan syndrome, I met him on a dating app.
Okay, so
So
how are you describing Peter Pan syndrome? Like, specifically, what qualities do they have or lack?
Qualities that they have is they have an abundance of optimism. They are dreamers. So they have these extravagant dreams like being movie makers, being artists, being musicians. Essentially, it's just keeping that youthfulness about themselves even as we age. And the things that they lack, I'd say, is financial responsibility, direction, career ambition, drive. A big one is that they do not follow through on those dreams.
Right. What do you do for work?
So I work as a manufacturing technician, supervisor for a semiconductor company.
Okay. All right. And you say you're 32?
32, yeah.
Okay. And your question is, how can you meet men who are not like that?
I think I want to mix with both. How to meet men who have a mix of both. They have responsibility, and they also still have that drive for life, like that enjoyment of the little things and of life, and they have big dreams still. They're not just settling for their 9 to 5 and.
So you essentially want someone who's ambitious and who's actively living out their ambitions.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be rare. It's going to be rare. Okay, so what you have to understand about men who are like how you're describing, who probably maybe they're not rich, but they're comfortable, and then they're also working towards even bigger goals. When men get money, they live in the same kind of reality as like a 21-year-old woman. Who are like in the prime of their lives, right? So because women value the traits you're describing so highly, those men tend to have a lot of women that they could choose from. So it's very competitive. And it doesn't even matter how they look either, for the most part. So it's very competitive. So one, you got to be someone who that type of man would even choose in the first place. That's one variable. And then two, it's highly unlikely that they're even willing to settle down. It just is what it is. Like, the ones who are willing to settle down are likely already settled down. There's a high likelihood they are, because they have so much coming at them. It's not hard for them to just settle down with somebody, right? So it's a very difficult problem to solve. So women do sometimes get those men to settle down, but those women tend to be really like that. Like the player who's like playing the field and dealing with a whole bunch of women, like typically one woman does like tame him, but she's really like that. Meaning she has extremely attractive qualities, and she has developed herself in a sense to where like she has boundaries, and she's unlike the other women that he's dated. So it's a very hard problem to solve. But one thing that will increase your odds is to get off those dating apps, because they're not up there to begin with, because they have such abundance. So there's no need for them to be up there. Dating apps don't really solve a problem for them because they already get women in real life. So there's no real need, unless they're just greedy. There's no need for them to be on a dating app. So you're not even in the environment where you will run into them.
That makes sense.
So I always tell women to put themselves in what I call static environments. There's two ways to meet people organically: dynamic environments and static environments. So dynamic environments are places where you go and you see different people every time you're there, right? So bars, clubs, grocery stores, you know what I mean? Places like that. It can work, it's not ideal. The ideal scenario is static environments. Static environments are the complete opposite. It's places where you go, where you see the same people over and over and over again. It allows you to benefit from something called the mere exposure effect, which suggests that the more interactions you have with a person, the more likely you would develop a liking toward them. Okay? The more you know someone, the more traits you may find to admire, essentially. So the additional benefit of static environments is they can act as a filtering mechanism. Example, you want a Christian, go to church. You want someone fit, go to the gym, join a run club, right? It has a filtering effect. Dating apps don't offer that type of filtering effect. It's random. It's an algorithm. There's no filtering. You have to filter yourself. Put yourself in a place where the environment filters for you. Example, I was talking to a client who told me that she really liked professional development and she was interested in dating ambitious men, similar to the men that you're describing. So I told her to join an organization called Toastmasters, which is an organization that teaches people how to publicly speak. Someone who is interested in publicly speaking is likely to be more ambitious.
I have a friend who's part of Toastmasters. That's a good idea.
Right. So that's just like, you got to learn how to think laterally, right? Thinking laterally is like, school trains us to think in a way where every problem has one answer. But in real life, every problem has a lot of answers. So me saying Toastmasters isn't like, oh, go to Toastmasters now. It's to think laterally and come up with a lot more examples than just Toastmasters. Okay. Mm-hmm. So when she went into that environment, she automatically was going to win, because even if she didn't find a romantic connection, she still engaged in professional development. So it was a win regardless. Okay. So you have to put yourself in the room with these people. Another way is to maybe join expensive gyms. Gyms are a bit more pricey. Okay. If you want men who probably are more financially ambitious, put yourself in static environments that requires payment of some sort, right? That's how you would be able to filter out certain types of people. When you get in those environments, the goal is not to find a romantic connection. It's just to engage socially and spread positivity. Even make platonic connections, because every platonic connection you make can potentially lead you to a romantic connection, right? So it's more of a long game, but it's a lot more effective than the dating app strategy. But you also have to, there's another, and I'm throwing a lot at you right now, but I'm saying a lot of this for people in the chat as well. You also have to engage in what is called theory of mind, meaning you have to look at things from the other person's perspective. People think they can do this. They are often wrong. They do not know how to look at things from other people's perspectives. So you close your eyes and imagine the man who you want to get and pretend like you're him. What would he want? Then just do that. Develop those qualities, right? Because if you don't have them, even if you do get in a room with them, you still won't be successful.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the advice.
Absolutely. Best of luck to you, all right?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. That theory of mind point is a big one. The most seductive people ever are really good with that theory of mind shit. They're really good at that. And most people are so bad at it. They literally cannot see things from another person's perspective. They think because they have empathy that they can. Empathy is a different thing. Empathy is like, how would I feel in this situation, right? Okay, that's good, but then what are we talking about? So let's say somebody's dog got ran over, right? And you're like, oh, I bet that person's sad because I would be sad in that situation. That's empathy. That's good. Theory of mind is saying, oh, the dog that got ran over belonged to a serial killer. So even though you would feel bad in that situation, theory of mind would tell you, well, Charles Manson kills people, so he probably doesn't give a fuck about that dog, right? You're seeing things from that person's perspective. When you can do that, you become a lot more seductive. A lot more seductive. Right? People are just really bad at it because most people, especially in our culture, are a bit more narcissistic. So they're entirely fixated on their experience of the situation. They're not even thinking about how the other person is perceiving them. Yeah. So, ain't the dog's fault, right? The more marginalized the identity, the better at theory of mind. Rephrase that question. So, yeah, that would be an important skill to cultivate. Just get out of your own experience and just like a lot of people have the ability to, they're just so focused on their fucking selves that they don't even take a second to think about what the other person could be thinking. Can you give the example in a romantic perspective? Yeah, I can tell you people who are anxiously attached are really bad at this. One of the annoying qualities of people who are anxiously attached, and I can say this because I was anxious, I came from that place, they like suffer from main character syndrome. It's like everything is about them and their experience of the romantic connection. So what I've experienced with anxious people is sometimes they don't even live up to the standard that they set for you, and they don't even realize they're dropping the ball personally because they're so focused on what you're not doing, what they're not getting. And they'll be guilty of doing the exact same thing that they're accusing you of because it's that main character shit, right? So it will be helpful for a person like that to be like, oh, what is this person's experience of this situation like? You know? That's a wild take, and it's a very accurate one, considering that I talk to them all day long. I thought main character energy was a good thing. It depends. The way that I'm using it is not a good thing. I see why you make that point, but the way that I'm using it in this context, it's not. All right. Who else do we have? Hello.
Hi, thank you for taking me.
Sure. What can I do for you?
I have a question. Is it possible to be anxiously attached in a romantic relationship, but avoid it in friendships?
Yeah.
Because I find it very, very hard to make meaningful friendships. Like, I self-sabotage, then I realize, oh, I just sabotaged that, but I often don't even try to fix it. I don't know how to work that. Like, the moment I start getting close in a friendship, I get very scared. It feels very uncomfortable. And yeah, but with my direct family, like my husband, my children, that's not even a problem.
Right. Okay. So what's the question you got for me?
How can I be more open to friendships? Like, how can I don't know how to put it, stop being scared of connection and friendships. I wasn't even aware that emotions are involved in friendship till last year.
Okay.
Maybe let me give you a little background. So I was born in Africa,
Okay.
raised in Europe. Then I met my husband, who's a military man, and we have been moving around. So now he's retired and we settled in a town. And I find myself, so before I used to just put an expiration date on people when I meet them. It's like, oh, in 2 years, this would be over. In 3 years, this would be over. But now I find myself longing for more deeper friendships since we won't be moving anymore. And it's really hard and scary.
Okay. I mean, listen, from a macro perspective, with any attachment style, the way to do better, how do I want to answer this? All right. So to oversimplify things, right? To oversimplify things. The way that you deal with just about any attachment style is just having a willingness to embrace uncomfortable feelings.
Okay.
Like I have clients who are anxious, I have clients who are avoidant. All it is a response to anxiety. You don't have to do what the anxiety is telling you. You have free will. So the assumption is, it's like the question behind the question seems to be, how can I not be afraid?
Yes.
You can't.
And stop self-sabotaging.
You can't.
Sometimes I would just ghost
I
people.
got it. You can't just not be afraid. You just do it while afraid. That's it. You just do the thing while also feeling the feeling. That's it. Like, it ain't even super complicated. It's just everyone's in their head about it because they're like, they want the feeling to go away. It ain't going nowhere until you face it, and you face it enough over a long enough timeline. Then you'll stop being so afraid of doing it. But that's the problem with a lot of people these days. They take feelings as facts, and they try to avoid anything that is uncomfortable. Right? And that's true for every aspect of life. People just can't handle uncomfortable feelings. So they avoid them. This is why they don't make the money they want to make. That's why they don't have the friendships they want. That's why they don't have the family relationships they want. That's why they don't have the romantic relationships they want, because there's a bad feeling that they associate with it and they can't take it. So they avoid it.
Okay.
The answer is to just stop doing that, right? That's really, it ain't a very satisfying answer because you want to like just surgically remove the feeling. You can't. The only way to solve fear is to face it. That's literally it.
It sounds so simple, but it's like one of the hardest. But yeah, I'll try.
Okay, so
I find myself
when you have to identify what the trigger is and then decide. So what I do for clients is you have to make an if-then plan. You have to make an if-then plan. So I'll give you an example of what an if-then plan is. Stop, drop, and roll is an if-then plan. Right? So when you're on fire, you stop, drop, and roll. Right? The purpose of an if-then plan is you don't even have to think. You know what behavior to default to when you're in that situation. If you didn't have the if-then plan, which is stop, drop, and roll, when you got on fire, you would probably just run and screaming, right? The purpose of the if-then plan, which is essentially saying, if this occurs, then I do this, is when your emotions are heightened, it fucks up your thinking. So you want to have a plan that you default to so you don't have to think and you just default to it. I'll give you an example other than the stop, drop, and roll example. I had a client who was fearful avoidant, and she had discomfort with physical intimacy, like touching, not even sex or anything like that. Just if she was dealing with someone.
I had a problem with that too.
Gotcha.
I asked a girl before.
Okay, hold on. Let me just get this out.
Okay.
So when she went on a date, if anybody made physical contact with her, like hugged her or something like that, or tried to physically escalate, she would freeze up. And that was it was a very frustrating experience because she actually wanted the person, the guy, to physically escalate. She actually wanted him to kiss her, wanted him to do those things, but he didn't do it because she never showed him any signs that it was okay. So I gave her an if-then plan. I said, okay, if he puts his arm around you, then you will lay your head on his shoulder. So when she has that plan before she gets in that situation, it increases the likelihood that she will engage in the behavior because she doesn't have to make a decision when she's activated. That's what you want to avoid. If you want to avoid having to decide when you're on fire. You want to just know to stop, drop, and roll. You don't want to make a decision when you're literally burning up, right? So that's the purpose of the if-then plan. How do we apply this to your situation? One thing that I would tell avoidantly attached people to do is, like, one thing that sabotages their connections is they stop behaving as they behaved when they first got into the connection. So I gave a client this plan earlier. I told her to keep track of her behavior when she gets involved with somebody. So when she starts dating someone, to keep track of her behavior, not all her behavior, but just the big things, right? Like how frequently she's talking to the person, all that stuff. When she gets activated, her standard now is to keep that behavior. Because what is making her not do that behavior is she doesn't feel like doing it because of those emotions again. But if she has visual proof that this is what she does, her goal now is to, even if she doesn't feel like, she must engage in this behavior because that's the standard that she set at the beginning. Solves the problem. This is just behavior modification. We're not even engaging with the emotions because the emotions don't even fucking matter. It's just the behavior that matters. So if you just behave like you would behave when you first made the friend, to the friend's perspective, again, theory of mind, from the friend's perspective, you're still being the same way. They don't have any awareness of your internal experience, your emotional experience. They can't see that. All they can see is the behavior. So all you need to do is continue the behavior. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for putting this in such a simple and understanding way.
Absolutely, love.
I will work on that. Just keep the momentum going, basically.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem, love. Best luck to you. I keep telling y'all I'm nice with the blam blams. We should have 1,000 people on this live, but the content is so good, NPCs can't understand it. So, if you want your 1-hour coaching call, but this is just the free shit. Imagine what the paid shit is like. If you want your 1-hour coaching call so I can solve your most pressing romantic issue, DM me the word coach. And I will tell you exactly how to book your call. Warning though. Warning. Do not DM me the word coach and not respond to me when I respond to you. I will block you. And that goes for anyone who has not responded to me as well. I'm blocking them today because that annoys the fuck out of me. Don't waste my time by DMing me. And then when I respond to you, you ghost me. You get avoidantly attached with me, I gotta block you. Gotta do it. Okay? So, message for all of you who DM'd me and you have not responded. You will be blocked today if you do not respond. I don't care if you tell me, oh, I actually solved the problem myself. That's fine. Let me know, though. I don't like that shit. It's disrespectful to me. Okay? But if you would like coaching, DM me the word coach, and I will tell you how you can book your 1-hour coaching call. All right? So if you enjoy these lives and you don't want to be blocked, we got Danny up here, too. You know, Danny is the autistic king. He works in IT. I'll find the new accounts that you create too. All right, what time is it? I got room for one more caller. We've been cooking today though. Let's just. Oh, I ain't responded to you? Twins touch? Let me go do that. See, I low-key can do that though, because I get DMs all the time. I low-key can do that. I get hella DMs per day. And I respond to all of them. And that's why it's annoying. Because there's a percentage of those who just don't respond anymore. And the red receipts are on. I can see that you read this shit. So it's annoying to me. Very, very annoying. I like that question though, because I haven't really talked about that strategy that I give avoidantly attached people. I don't know why, like people were like, where can I read to learn more about this? You can't. Ta-da! You can't. You want to know how I learned about this stuff? Because don't nobody else teach this shit. No shade any therapist. Because I'm sure there are who are really good. I know therapists who are really good. But there's just nobody who teaches this shit. They teach you, like when you learn about attachment styles, all they do is just teach you about attachment styles. They don't teach you how to solve the fucking problem though. They just tell you why you're doing what you're doing. Okay, no shit. I don't care about my childhood shit. What do I do to solve this problem right now? I don't really give a fuck where it came from. How does that help me? You want to give me the ability to better articulate what my problem is? I don't care. How do I solve it though? And that's when you get the shoulder shrug. I don't know. But it was caused by your mama. I can take that. It was caused by your mama. I can tell you that for sure. So maybe you should talk to her about it, because I ain't really got nothing else for you. So I had to solve this shit for myself. So I'm like, all right. It took me years to figure this shit out. Okay. Okay, this is behavior modification then. All right. Well, let me think from first principles. How do we solve this problem? So the strategies that I give y'all, the reason why even therapists hire me is because they have immense understanding of why the things are happening, but they don't know what to do about it. It is Adler psychology, yeah. Yeah. I take a more teleological approach to things. So I don't really care about why we got here. I only care about solving the problem. And I tailor the advice to the individual who hires me for coaching. So I'm not giving them blanket advice. So if I get 2 different avoidance, I'll probably give them 2 different solutions. I like the way you explain the difference between attachment styles and character flaws. Right. Yeah, because people like they over-index on the attachment style stuff. And I'm like, there's other variables at play. There's other variables at play. But then when you engage in the behavior modification, your nervous system now has new evidence that informs it that it should not be, that this situation is not as threatening as it thought it was. In some cases, the why does matter though. Yeah. I tell clients the why too. That's part of like the coaching, is I tell them why it's going on. But I get past that very quickly. Does the cost vary by individual case? You mean the cost for coaching? No, that's a flat fee, baby. But my coaching does come with a money back guarantee. So if by the end of the call, the person feels that the value didn't justify the price, within 24 hours, I'll just give them a refund. So there's literally no risk to getting on a coaching call. People are too like money sensitive. That's one thing if you literally don't have the funds, right? I get that. But some people are like, they're hesitant. And I'm like, how much is the relationship costing you? Did you ever consider that? How much are you paying for Hinge? How much are you paying for dates? How much are you paying for Valentine's Day gifts for someone who's just going to leave you anyway? Like, how much is that costing you? How much is it costing you from like internal peace perspective? That's probably impacting how much money you can make because you're so fixated on your dating problems or your relationship problems, you can't even fucking focus. How much is that costing you? When you can solve it in one conversation, I'm gonna get you right. Even with that guarantee, guess what? No one has asked for one. It's never happened. So, you know. All right. Should we take one more call? Appreciate you, Raven. You are third on here. I felt like I was in the shower too. Come on now. Let's get it together. Let's get it. This is just ginger ale. This is not alcohol. Let's see if Nora Lou connects. I will not judge. I only drink socially. I don't drink by myself. It's not fun for me. All right.
Oh my gosh. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
You all right?
I'm good. How are you? I'm good. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't expecting you to actually pick me.
Oh, why not?
Because I've been screaming to my phone. That's why they're not connecting, because you're meant to pick me.
Ah, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. What can I do for you, love?
Wow. I'm a bit of a conundrum. I don't know where to start. I can just summarize it. So basically, I'm 31, and me and my ex just broke up a day after my birthday. And he's anxious. No, he's avoidant. I think it's the dismissive one. And when we first started dating, so I'm Zimbabwean, but he's Nigerian, and he moved to the UK like recently. But I've lived in the UK most of my life, so we've got some cultural differences and differences in terms of exposure and lifestyles. But I was okay with that because, you know, he's ambitious, he's driven. I could see that I could build with him, and, you know, we have a lot of interest. So with time, there were some inconsistencies, but I kind of overlooked the red flags. And then in the beginning, I would always vocalize my, you know, what you were saying about the theory of mind and how anxious people always have this main character syndrome and they make it about them. And that's what I was doing. So he constantly felt like he was being criticized. And so we got together in December. And rather than, so when we'd have conflict, he would shut off. And of course, where I'm anxious, we have this push and pull. I would chase, he would pull away. So by March, we were meant to go on holiday together. He was worried that he may lose his job. I was like, fair and fine, you know, let me travel, but since it's still affordable. So in March, he downloaded Hinge. So he's 33. And so, of course, where he would always vocalize his worries or his uncertainty, because where his parents got divorced and his mum was a second wife and that. And because he was like, you know what, I'm 32, I need to get married, I need to keep my options open. So, of course, I was over-functioning, trying to hold us together, thinking, okay, we're in this together, struggling. And meanwhile, he's already got his coping mechanism or, like, strategy to help him cope. Then I find out in May, because I had this feeling that he was on dating apps. Then we take a break, and he's like, you know, he doesn't know what to do because we have too many issues. Then when it came to my birthday, we had some issues because he didn't want to buy me things off my wish list. And then, yeah, I used to have an if then, or like, you know, drop and roll thing, but sometimes I wouldn't always implement it, especially when my emotions are really heightened and I just want to escape the feeling. I forgot to say, when we got together, so we got together in December, by January, I resumed therapy. So I started MDR because I realized, like, this was my first proper adult relationship, that I need to do the work in order for us to, like, move forward. So yeah, now we're ended and we're just in this phase of transitioning out of each other's lives. And next week is our final week. We're just texting. And we met on Hinge. I know you don't like dating apps.
Right.
And I did try the whole, you know, being in certain environments. I have ADHD, so sometimes I don't always understand social cues when guys are signaling to me that they like me. So, yeah.
Wait, so what's the question?
What is my question? What should I do differently? Like, should I... Because we've gotten back together like 3 times now, but I'm sure this is the end. Do you think I should just have left it the first time when he downloaded Hinge, or, you know?
He downloaded Hinge while you were in a relationship?
Yeah, because he said that he needed to keep his options open, and he was still experiencing, what's this thing? Cold feet or uncertainty
doesn't really
our
matter.
future.
It doesn't matter at all. You download a Hinge, you're effectively cheating. So yeah, you should end the connection for sure.
Yeah, no, it's ended now. We broke up on Sunday.
Right.
But my question is, what should I do differently as someone who's anxiously attached?
what should you do differently as someone who's anxiously attached? So the only thing I remember that you were doing in this relationship, well, one, you shouldn't stay after somebody clearly downloads a dating app, right? So do that differently moving forward. But then two, you said that you were just constantly bringing up issues.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said that, well, I mean, how was your anxious attachment hurting the connection? Just you constantly bringing up issues?
Yeah, so say like because he bought a property with his friend, and of course I understood funds were down, but he bought me flowers in February. Then I would be like, oh, you know, babe, my flowers have died. Oh, babe, you know, the flowers you got me for Valentine's were really nice. And from February until May, I didn't get any flowers. Of course, I understood that he was in a financial situation, but he could have gone to like the supermarket and just bought me like flowers for like £10, which is maybe like equivalent to like
So the issue
$11 or
is a
$12.
lot of people who are anxiously attached, they look at things like that as a symbolic representation of how strongly the person feels about them. You got to stop attaching meaning to every little thing, right? So the process will look like this. The person doesn't do something, and then you attach meaning to it, and then you think about that, maybe create a story out of that meaning, ruminate on it so long that the anxiety spikes to a high level, and now you feel like it's urgent to talk about it. So we got to stop that loop. The way that you stop that loop is someone doesn't do something for you. Get clear on what that means to you. What meaning do you associate with it? What story are you creating from it? Is the story, oh, this person doesn't care about me? Okay. Let's make sure she's still listening. I hate when y'all do that, by the way.
I was taking notes. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I was taking notes. I didn't realize it pauses.
Okay. So once you get clarity on what the story is, now you want to zoom out. Because the thing that messes with anxious attachment, other than this symbolic thing I'm talking about, is they have what is called recency bias. So whatever occurred most recently in the relationship, they let that color the entire connection. So you can have a good 2 weeks, and then on Tuesday something happens. Now that issue becomes the entire relationship.
Yeah, and that's
Right.
what would happen a lot.
Right. So what you want to do is zoom out. Don't think about just that issue. Think about the entirety of the connection, right? So the meaning that you attach to it is, oh, this person doesn't care about me. Okay, let's check that. Let's zoom out and do what is called look for disconfirming evidence, meaning evidence that contradicts the conclusion that you came to. So Johnny didn't buy me flowers. He doesn't care about me because he didn't buy me flowers today. Let's zoom out. Okay, is there anything that he does that does show me he cares about me? Oh, well, 2 days ago, he took me out to this nice restaurant I've been wanting to go to. Oh, last week, he did this very kind thing for me that I didn't ask him to do that. I appreciate it. Okay, the person who would do things like that clearly does care about me. So the conclusion you came to from not having flowers is the incorrect one.
But over a consistent period, like whenever I would get flowers is when I would ask him.
Say it again?
So he would buy me flowers after I have mentioned it. So it would be like sporadic. It wouldn't be like, so I would do that, but sometimes some issues were very consistent.
I'm confused as to what point are you making right now?
So, you know, you said about the disconfirming evidence.
Right.
So, like, okay, Johnny bought me flowers this week.
Right.
Say he didn't buy me the flowers. What does that mean? Okay, the issue about the flowers then comes again month end. Then what do I do about that?
No, this is to serve the function of you stop attaching meaning to insignificant things.
Okay, I understand.
Right? So this is to dead the whole symbolic meaning of the flowers to begin with.
Okay. And the flowers is just an example. There's other things. So, yeah.
Right. So you apply this to whatever you need to apply it to. This isn't to gaslight yourself, by the way, but it is to prove to you that if someone doesn't care about you, then there will be other evidence. It will be hard to find disconfirming evidence that they do care about you.
Yeah.
Because if they don't care about you, then they're just in general not treating you like they care about you. But if you can find disconfirming evidence, then they obviously do. So the conclusion you came to was the incorrect one.
Okay.
This
Yeah,
because
that
this you
makes
have
sense.
to solve this, because with dealing with anxious attachment, you often cause the problem where it's a death by 1,000 cuts. The biggest issue with anxious attachment is, let's say your average relationship is going to have like three disagreements per month, right? Anxious attachment adds more conflict to the mix, and it's unnecessary. So they'll take that number to 20. They'll make that 3 conflict number, they'll increase that to 20, because they'll just start wanting to talk about all types of stuff, because
Yeah.
they're just constantly assessing their relationship. And the more you think about something, the more problems you're going to find in general. That's why anxious attachers also got to have other competing priorities going on, so they just stop focusing on the relationship so much, because it's draining. It's very I cannot tell you. I've dated a few anxious women. That shit is so draining.
It is, because that's something he'll complain about. Like, it's always an issue after an issue. He's never had issues like that with his previous exes. What would that look like if we get married?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I understand.
Right. So yeah, don't feel like just because you feel some way, you got to immediately go and talk about it, because you become an energy vampire when you do that. You become an energy vampire. Like it just drains the connection. And once you're in the danger zone, because once you're dating someone and they come to the conclusion that what they say to you doesn't land, like it doesn't matter what they say to you, even if that makes you feel okay today, you're just gonna come with another thing tomorrow. That's the beginning of the end. That's when they're like, forget this, I'm out of here.
Yeah, yeah. That's the point that he's reached now. He's saying that love is not enough to sustain us, and he feels like he can't resolve the issues that we have, and it's best we go our separate ways.
Yeah, but you also should have went your separate ways the moment he got on a dating app while in a relationship. So again, moving forward,
Fairs.
definitely leave over stuff like that, okay?
Yeah, no, usually I would, but I thought, okay, it's a non-negotiable for me. I don't tolerate infidelity, but how he reassured me, and he allowed me to go through all his messages and phone, that he never went on a date, which I understand, because he didn't have the finances to do so. So that's why I kind of overlooked it. But usually it's something I would not turn a blind eye to.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, give that a try, love. During your next connection, let me know what you think, okay?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right, you take care.
You too. Bye.
All right, no more calls. Feel free to drop a question in the chat, though, but calls are shut down. I'll be live again tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, so if I didn't get to your question today, this afternoon I will get to it tonight, so just make sure to follow. I don't take questions from non-followers, so make sure you follow. Right? I don't ask y'all for gifts, although y'all can send them. Never ask for it, but you at least gotta be following. Should you consider someone who has most qualities you want but lacks intellectual stimulation? Depends on how much you value intellectual stimulation. My past relationship, that was something that I was missing, and it used to frustrate me until I realized that I was trying to make the person I was with everything to me. So what I did was I just found other people who could scratch that itch. But if that's like the number one thing you're looking for, then yeah, you can't settle. So it depends on the person, like how much they value it. Silly question, but can you both be anxiously and avoidantly attached? Yeah, that's called disorganized or fearful avoidant attachment. Intellectual stimulation is important for me. Gotta tell you this, mister, it's important for me too. However, it tends to be a filtering mechanism for avoidantly attached women. So if you're a man who likes intellectual stimulation, that kind of selects for women who are avoidantly attached. It's not to say only women who are avoidantly attached can be intellectually stimulating. It just means that they're overrepresented with that quality. How do you avoid lustful men if you're attracted to guys who adore your looks? That's a very difficult problem to solve. I would kind of unpack, why are you prioritizing guys who adore your looks? It sounds like you have a validation issue. You need to be validated, and you over identify with your looks. So you won't be validated for it. Yeah, that's going to be a magnet for, like, your whole system is designed to attract those type of men. So you got to change something about the system. So you have to deal with your own validation issue so that you don't value that as much. And now, problem solved. Oh, interesting take. That would be a topic I want further to explore. I got you. Yeah, Mr. Book a call. Book a call. Yeah, user, I mean, it still sounds like a validation issue. So yeah, I didn't see your question. So either the chat's moving too fast, or we cracking down around here. The mods keep my feet to the fire because they're like, yo, you give too much value for free. They're not lying. I do give y'all way too much free value. So we might have to put constraints on that. But yeah, you gotta book the call, people. You gotta book the call. Got to. How do you feel about people who don't believe attachment styles exist? They probably just never, they're either lacking intellectual capacity, or they haven't really sat and thought about it and looked into it. Normally what they disagree with is avoidant, because they have a simplistic understanding of attraction. So they reduce everything down to whether or not the person likes you for real. You'll see it in the chat here. You'll see it on comments on videos about dating and relationships. There's always a lot of people who will be like, he or she just doesn't really like that person. And there is a time and a place for that conclusion, because that is a real thing that occurs. It's a little bit more nuanced when we're talking about attachment styles, because an avoidant is acting avoidant towards you precisely because they like you so much. What's your take on dating apps and sites? There was a video you said it in passing. Yeah, I'm completely against dating apps. If you actually want a relationship, that is. It's bottom of the barrel dating. Bottom of the barrel dating. It's so much bottom of the barrel dating. Whenever I have like people who ask me questions and it's like an extreme situation, I typically ask them how they met, and 8 times out of 10 is dating apps. They just select for people who have like either aren't in a season in their life where they can healthily connect with someone, or they have like severe trauma and attachment issues. Someone with severe trauma typically doesn't want to go out and socialize. Never said that before, but it's true. Someone with severe trauma typically doesn't want to go out and socialize. So how do you think they date? Dating apps. Dating apps. Any client who I talk to who has like a lot of a very traumatic past, like they don't get out the house like that, precisely because of all that trauma. So they still want somebody. How do you think they find them? Dating apps. It's just an overrepresentation of people like that up there. And it's not to say people like that don't deserve love. Obviously they do, but they haven't worked on that problem though. That's the problem. Do you think it's possible to find a genuine relationship on a dating app? Yes. I mean, it obviously happens. It's not that there's no quality people on dating apps. It's just they don't stay up there long, and there's so many people who aren't quality up there, they get drowned out. So you got to be a bit lucky. Should you learn more emotional intelligence before you get into a relationship? Not necessarily. I mean, yeah, you educate yourself as you can, but don't delay the relationship part. That's not a good excuse to delay a relationship. From your recommendation, I ended things with the avoidant I was dating. I feel free. That's what I'm talking about, Angela. Good work, love. Good work. I met my ex. I almost married on my app. Not again. Right. The probability of no good people on dating apps are relatively higher. You can hide more behind dating apps, right? Right. There's so many like reasons why I'm anti-dating app, and people fight me on this, where they fight themselves, because I ain't gonna fight with you, because they like really defend it, but they don't even understand like they're the people I'm talking about. They think no one thinks they're the person I'm talking about. Like they're on the dating app, and the way they hear it is like the other people. I'm like, no, I'm talking to you. You're the person I'm describing who's on the app that shouldn't be dating at all. You're that person. So they fight me on it. That's why they're fighting. The reason why they're fighting it is because they don't perceive they have another option other than dating apps. Do you suggest meeting online or strictly in person? I think in person is best. Social media is leagues above dating apps though. So if you do need a digital strategy, social media is better. Just don't, like I wouldn't go to like speak. The worst people to date are people who are actively shopping. Worst people to date. That's part of the reason why dating apps are so bad, because those people are actively shopping. Right? And even if you weren't doing dating apps, avoid any environment where dating is the focus. What's up, Mila? Where you been at? Avoid any environments where dating is the focus. That's speed dating events. That's TikTok speed dating events. Don't do it. You want to meet people in just a social environment, and then dating can come from it. The environment itself, though, shouldn't be exclusively for dating. It just selects the wrong type of people. It selects needy people. It selects for people who are trying to escape something. That's what you'll see a lot of times on dating apps is these people just got out of something, so they're trying to quickly get somebody else to regulate and avoid the grief from their past situation. So they're up there to get over the person they just ended things with, or who ended things with them. It's just, you got to take like an economic perspective of this shit. Like what type of person would need to do this, right? So you can meet like decent women at a speed dating event just because part of their problem is the economics of what they value tends to be rare to find, right? You're certainly not meeting valuable men at a speed dating event. I can promise you that. I can promise you that. It's not happening. Unless you get with the host. Or maybe there's a guy hosting it. All right, he's probably the best guy here to date. The one showing up with their fucking name tags and shit. Fuck are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Absolutely. Yeah, so women, if you're going to a speed dating event and there's a man hosting it, go for him. That's the one who probably, he has enough ambition to create the speed dating event, right? The social charisma to kind of like orchestrate things and to keep people engaged in the process. Yeah, that's probably the person to actually date. Someone claims to like you a lot but never reach out after you break up. Focus on the behavior. I will try my best. He's usually taken. Yeah, the best guys are either usually taken or they don't want anything serious. So that's just how it is, man. Be preparing to go to a speed dating event tonight. Sorry to hear that, love. Just go do something else social. Were they gay? Wow. Just do something else social. That's why I tell you about static environments. That's what you're getting at a speed date. And it's like autistically, it's just too like overtly dating. Like do something else social. Go to another static environment that encourages social interaction and treat it like a speed dating event. That's a good articulation of that point. I got to put that in the book. Just treat those other places like it's speed dating, but don't go to speed dating. I don't do that. Can a relationship work if one person lacks nurturing and empathy? Yeah, lack of empathy, I don't see how you make a relationship work. The typo approach. Man, typo got kicked out of the bar for asking for numbers. Shorty said, dating is so gay. Calling dating gay is hilarious. Dating is so gay too because when you meet your husband, you're going to be embarrassed if you have a past for real. Yeah, a lot of women will be embarrassed if they have a past. A lot of women will be embarrassed if they have a past for sure. That's why, like, biblically, they say, like, you meet, like, you should be a husband already before you get married, and you should be a wife already before you get married, because the act of getting married does not give you that identity. People think they're going to, like, get married and stuff like that and then just change everything about themselves. Nah, you was out here dating all these people. You probably are accustomed to dating all these people. It's probably how that works. You know? It's going to be something that's hard to shut down. You have to talk every day when you're in a relationship? I prefer to. Not all day, though. Too busy. That's like a preference thing, though. Can't do all day. Not at all. I've had people expect all day. I was like, listen, hey, whoa, slow down, baby. Slow down, baby. I can't do that. No. You got to find somebody else to do it. Text or so, right? A little check-in is cool, but that all day shit, I can't. Told someone I don't want to text all day. They took it as I don't want to text at all. Some people take that stuff personally, man. I don't like people all up in my booty. Right. Listening to each other breathe on the phone. There ain't even that much to talk about, bro. And the people who want to talk all day don't even be conversationalists like that. It just be like updates on what they ate. I don't care about that pasta, baby. Click. I want to actually have something to say. I ain't trying to just like get updates on what you doing right now. What we doing? I got nothing to talk about. I want to talk all day. I was thinking of eating this, maybe that. I don't know, but I also need to lose weight. I was like, oh my God, you need you a pet. Go talk to a Yorkie about this shit. I can't do it. What are your thoughts on long distance relationships? Do you think they work? They can work. 2 failure points though. First one is mostly people who have a degree of avoidant attachment are most open and even proactively seek out long distance relationships because the distance serves the function of preventing them from feeling threatened. If you were to try to close the distance, close the gap, you will oftentimes see them do a 180. Right? Other thing is, if you enter into a long distance relationship, you got to have the ability to see each other frequently enough and then also communicate enough, because the lack of in-person or an embodied experience needs to be compensated by increased frequency of communication. And the third thing is, the last failure point is, once you actually enter into the relationship and it's long distance, you're on the clock, meaning you probably have like a year to a year and a half to close the gap. Because assuming one or both of you are desirable, if you don't close the gap fast enough, they're just going to find someone closer who they're also attracted to, and they have a significant advantage. So they oftentimes fail. One phone call a day is fine, but you better care about my pasta, right? The pasta can be something that's like talked about in concert with other things, but if we're on the phone talking about that, I had a homeboy who was married, and I realized that like he just married his wife because he was physically attracted to her. Because I remember I went to the bathroom, we stayed in the same hotel room, we were helping another friend with something, And I heard him on the phone with his woman for 30 minutes, and they talked for 30 minutes about his toenail. I said, hand me the divorce papers. I'll sign them. I know what your signature look like. Give them to me. I'll sign. You can't do it, apparently. I'll sign the midget. I'll sign it. Jesus Christ, what are we doing? What are we doing? One thing I don't like is being bored, bro. Don't bore me. My God. I don't think anything was wrong with it. I think he like stubbed his toe or something. She kept asking him questions about it. And he answered every question she had. And she found these like decision tree paths to go down to like still talk about the toenail. I'm like, y'all been married for how long? 13 years. I don't see how. I don't see how. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. I unfortunately like women who are intellectually stimulating, which I like women who are typically intellectually stimulating and complicated, and the curse with that is that trait overlaps with a lot of trauma. It is the trauma that makes them interesting. So now you can have a lot of trauma and still be good, right? You can still like have a good connection. It's like, but it's if they dealt with it, you know what I mean? And oftentimes they haven't. So a sabotage is coming. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Sabotage is coming. It's going to happen. It's guaranteed. I can see it coming from a mile away. A mile away. All right, people. I got to run. I got calls coming up. Yeah, there needs to be a very good balance and variation conversation-wise. Absolutely. Have you ever heard of Rudolf Steiner? No, but I'll look him up. Amelia, you should be here more often. You missed a lot of class. You're becoming a super senior. I don't like that. So, you know the schedule. 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Every day, beloved. If you're new here, make sure to follow. I'll go live again tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you do want to rewatch the stream of this live, it's on YouTube. Link in bio for that, at The Signal Dating. Again, if you want coaching, DM me the word coach. I'll ask you about your situation, and I'll send you a link to book your call. What else? Yep, that's it for me, people. Appreciate the mods, appreciate the chat. I will see you all tonight.